Right, Audi's dynamic ride control tested to the limit in the Alps. Variable torque split transmissions given a workout on our track. And Merck's 190-mile-an-hour black on the edge in Wales. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, and yes, tonight, and for one night only, we've accidentally made a show all about cars.
Yeah. For the whole show, not one of us falls over or catches fire or anything.
No. That said, later on, we are going to do the cool wall.
Yes, we are.
It's back. It's back. But we're kicking off with these two. See, in the not-too-distant past, you had a very simple choice if you wanted a fast, four-seater rally car for the road.
Yeah. For one lap of the Nürburgring, you wanted the super sharp Mitsubishi Evo. For the journey home, you wanted the more comfortable Subaru Impreza.
Anyway, there are now new versions of both these cars.
Let's try the Subaru first.
Right, so it's got a gear lever and a steering wheel and a key, so it all seems very normal. But it isn't. Because before I set off, I have to choose how much traction control I'd like. That means going into the vehicle dynamics control system. Then, when you've done that, you have to choose where you want the power from the engine to go, front wheels or back wheels. You can have it in auto, or you can put it into manual, 6 settings for this. When you've done all that, you have to choose what kind of throttle response you'd like. Sort of quite sporty in sport, very sporty in sport sharp, or intelligent. This is more complicated than my daughter's mobile phone. Honestly, I am surprised you don't drive it with one of these. But you don't.
This car isn't an anorak. It's where people who make anoraks go to buy their anoraks. And life isn't much better in the new Mitsubishi Evo 10.
I have even had to resort to the handbook. Here it is. Because there's a button here that says ASC off. Now, chapter 4, verse 56. And lo, an operation noise may be emitted from the engine compartment in the following situations. The sound is associated with checking the operations of the ASC. At this time, you may feel a shock from the brake pedal. Driving force and steering performance as the vehicle turns while pressing the acceleration pedal. Who writes this? If you push this one, I don't understand. Oh, no, wait, no, look. I see. This is to tell it whether we're driving on tarmac or gravel or snow.
So, both these cars are complicated. Both are Japanese. Both have 4 seats. Both have turbos. Both have 4-wheel drive. Both were born in the world of rallying. Both will get from 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, and both have a top speed of 155. So, to try and split them up a bit, I've devised a simple test involving a small group of rally enthusiasts.
Now, I know it's not very realistic. I mean, this one on the end, for example, is a girl. Rally enthusiasts in true life have no concept of that. Anyway, this is what I have in mind. Anyone who's seen rallying on the television will know that the spectators like to get as close as possible to the action. So what I'm going to do is see how close I can get to them in each of the cars, flat out, without mowing any of them down.
OK, Mitsubishi first.
I've had a 14-year-old set up all the computers for me. So let's see what's what.
On the very first attempt, I came within half an inch. And that put a huge smile on the rally fans' faces. So now, here comes the Subaru.
Here we go.
Ooh, sadly the teenager had set the car up all wrong and it had understeered wide. The spectators were livid. I therefore decided to have another go.
Turn in, no power on, the back will come round, yep.
That's the face of a man who's lost his Bovril. So, to cheer him up, I had one last attempt.
Turn in, no power.
This went so badly, it's not really suitable for family viewing.
In the olden days, it was very close between the Evo and the Impreza. It was like Chelsea and Manchester United, but now, with these new models, it's like Chelsea and... I don't know enough about football. What team plays in red that isn't as good as Chelsea?
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
And it's not just my close quarters rally test either where the Subaru falls down.
Let's be honest, shall we? It is uglier than a war wound. It's far too soft and wallowy. It sounds like it's running on Mogadon. And the only reason they can sell it for £25,000 is because it has fewer luxuries than, I don't know, an Egyptian's lavatory.
So, let's concentrate on the Mitsubishi. This is not an Egyptian's car seat. Its TV screen is a sat-nav. It's a graph showing you your average speed and fuel consumption over the last 2 hours. And it can be used to watch films from your iPod. But don't think this car is aimed at an audience which isn't old enough to drive yet. It will quite literally run rings round the Subaru. It's so much sharper, so much more focused, better looking as well. And the engine in this FQ360 model is such a tower of power, it can keep all 4 wheels spinning endlessly.
I know the entry speed for this corner in a Ferrari or a Lamborghini is 65. I've just gone in at 100. It's just so easy. It is genuinely incredible, and I do mean that. There is no car that handles like this one.
Even if you have a crash, it'll still keep going. I thought it would be impossible to make a four-door saloon more exciting than the old Evo 9, but with the 10, they have.
See what I mean? James may never exploded in that film. Nothing. Didn't get lost. Just cars.
Just 2 cars.
So,
Yeah.
that's sorted out then. This is the one to buy.
Oh, no. You'd have to be drunk and mad to buy this.
Oh, God.
No, seriously, OK? It's brilliant on the track. Unlike old Evos, it's also quite comfortable on the road, and you don't have to service it every 700 yards.
Yeah.
But instead of a fuel tank, they've fitted a pipette. I've actually worked this out, that if you drive flat out, you'll empty the tank in 48 miles. So what I'd do is buy this one, which is the less powerful version.
Sorry, less powerful.
Less powerful.
Is there a doctor in here?
No, really, bear with me, OK? This has got 300 horsepower rather than 360, so you go further on a tank, OK? It's got a 6-speed gearbox, not 5. It looks exactly the same, has the same top speed, handles exactly the same.
Yeah, but...
and this is £6,000 less than that.
Yeah, but the Subaru is £7,000 less than that.
Yes, but there's lots of things that are cheaper than that. I mean, would you like to have keyhole surgery on your scrotum? That's very cheap. Do you want that? No. There you are, you see, I've won the argument. Now we must find out which is the fastest round our track.
If it's the Subaru, you're going to look like such a knob now.
I am a bit nervous about that, but nevertheless, we shall now hand them over to our tame racing driver. Some say that each of his toenails are exactly the same as a woman's nipples. And that he thinks the Credit Crunch is some kind of breakfast cereal. All we know is he's called the Stig. Subaru first, and he's off. No, wait. Oh, he's still setting it up. Bear with him. There he goes. Start the clock. OK, I suspect the Stig will have it set with most of the power going to the back, so basically it's a Mark II Escort. Yeah, look, you see the back stepping out slightly there into the first corner. That will undoubtedly arouse the rally fans. Ooh, Stig seems to have got into Elton John, not literally, obviously. Chicago, neat, not that quick. OK, the Impreza's a hatchback, you'll note, rather than a saloon for the first time. Still looks like a butchered bull terrier, though. There's a fair bit of understeer through there and tyre squeal. That's not good. OK, follow through. Chance to really stretch that 2.5-litre boxer engine. Brisk through the tyre wall. 2 corners left. He's getting a bit sideways there. And now he's coming up to Gambon. More sideways stuff, just like a 1970s rally car, and across the line. Now the Evo. What's he doing? Oh, he's ready, and he's off! There we go! Now, for fairness, we're using the less powerful model, has the same 300 horsepower as the Subaru. Obviously, of course, the Evo's better, as I've said, with the first corner taking it quite wide, but it is looking good. And, of course, unlike the Impreza, this doesn't resemble a smashed buttock. Chicago was very neat. Hammerhead. Subaru wasn't very good here. Can the Evo do better? Look at that. He's bang on the lines. That is stunning. Tidier, on the correct line, a little drift toward the exit. Okay, he's really cracking that 2-litre turbocharged engine now through the follow-through. Come on, Stig, quicker! Hurry up! Second to last corner. Stig's hands all over the wheel like a crazed Japanese robot. Through Gambon, four-wheel drift, and across the line! Okay. Oh, come on. Got a times here. Yeah. Subaru, 128.2. So that goes there. Look, you see, actually, look, quicker than the Evo 8.
Yeah, good, good.
7.
So how much quicker or otherwise is the...
Oh, no, it's all smudged.
No, you did that.
No, I didn't.
You
Look,
did.
it's just can't read it.
No, you've smudged it.
I think what it says, yes, it 117.1, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
It never
Yes,
says...
it
What
did.
did it say? 122.
It's
2.
128.2.
122.
Yeah.
It's slower than the Subaru. The Subaru's faster.
It isn't.
No, it is.
It isn't.
It just is. The time
It isn't. Stop saying this.
You're wrong. It just is.
No, it isn't.
Right, let's do the news. Now, around where I live, there is a new system for paying for your parking using your mobile phone. But the difference is, it responds to voice commands, and the really amazing thing is, it works. Until you get to a bit where it says, in one word, describe the colour of your car.
In one word.
Can't
Yes.
do that in a wo-
No.
Everyone would just go, and then it would just be,
Exactly. Well, I paid for 20 minutes parking with a Fiat Panda 1.2 Eleganza in...
Actually, no, it's quite... Because you've got to describe the colour in one word. So,
Exactly.
well, if they ask me, lovely.
Hey, now, anyone see Doctor Who a couple of weeks ago?
Oh, yeah.
Stig's been moonlighting. We've got a clip of it here. Check it out.
Don't worry.
Thing is, though, he is such a professional. He realised that there was going to be a shot where you'd be able to see through his visor. So rather than reveal his identity, he tore his own face off.
It was quite disturbing to watch, but dedication.
Yeah, now, good news. Jaguar has found £1 and has decided to spend it tarting up the XK. This is it. It's the XKRS. It's essentially the same, just with different suspension. And it's got a Bluetooth system in it, OK? Now, have you ever connected anything up using Bluetooth?
No.
Has anyone managed to... What, did you... What? It is not easy. I was driving this thing... You're driving it along, and it says, do you want to dock your phone to the dashboard? It says, enter the PIN code 1547. So you put 1547, it says, no, that's wrong.
Yeah, but technically, I think in that Jag, it says, do you want to mate your...
It does.
Well, if you're trying to encourage them to mate, I think a box of chocolates and some nice music would work better than that.
No, it is. It's just impossible. Absolutely impossible.
So you're trying to encourage your phone to have sex with the dash?
Yeah.
What is it they do to encourage farm animals to mate? Because they do, don't they?
No, they do. You have to wait for the lady cow to be on heat. Then you put the bull in there.
That's no good. You can't wait for your dashboard to have a period before you make a phone call.
How can you possibly know when your dashboard's having its period?
Because the sat-nav would lose its temper for no reason. I said left! Go! You know, do it! Look. That's what it is.
I think you'll find out for a few years. You'd discover your dashboard had been faking all its connections. I'm putting it on.
With your best mate's mobile phone.
Good news. The Vauxhall Vectra is dead. It's
Excellent.
gone. Yeah, here is the replacement. It's called the Insignia. And apart from anything else, you've got to say straight away, that is a good-looking car.
It is a good... There's no arguing with that. And, but have you seen the new Ford Fiesta?
Yeah.
That's just... Look at this, look at this, look at this, everyone. That's unbelievably good.
That's terrific. Am I right in saying, do you think, that the really good-looking cars these days are the mainstream ones? Have you seen, for example, that Renault Laguna Coupe?
Or
Yes.
the Citroen C5. You
Yes.
seen
There's that
Yes.
SAT CC, the coupe version.
that? No, I know they are.
Oh, bad news.
What?
The Dacia Sandero. It's delayed.
Oh, no. Anyway, last week, we introduced a campaign to rid Britain of its signposts, and it seems to have struck a bit of a chord with the country. There's been sent loads and loads of stupid signs that need taking down. One of my favourites is this one. Now, quite apart from the fact that the sign cost 500 quid, how long was the meeting and involving how many people and how many biscuits before they said, no, we can't put 10 miles, people will think we're just making it up. So
After 11 miles, the squirrel's just grey again.
It's very precise, isn't it?
It is.
What if one day you got a really brave red squirrel that said, I'm going to go for the 12? Or he was reaching over for a nut.
Can I show you another really stupid sign? Look at this one. Now, I live in the countryside and I know squirrels don't have antlers.
Actually, I have been tossed by a squirrel like that at
I'm
Chatsworth
sorry?
House. I mean, head-butted. No, not tossed. Head-butted. That is the technical
I wouldn't be
expression.
surprised if one of your clubs offers squirrel tossing.
Yes.
Anyway, look. I went on the internet this week and I found this. I also found this. What that should say is lane closed so that we can impose a preposterously low speed limit on the lane that isn't closed and then put average speed cameras up so it can catch you speeding and fine you and spend the money on signs with squirrels on them with antlers. That's what that should say.
Now, have you ever wondered what all that writing on the side of your tyres actually means?
No.
Honestly, couldn't care less.
Well, don't wonder no longer.
don't.
Because it's all been deciphered in this handy cut-out-and-keep guide to what all the writing on your tyres mean. Look at
Who's done that? Who's done... How boring do you have to be to do that?
To be interesting.
Have you done it? All right, then what's the number 7 mean?
Number 7. Well, I've got the key here. That's of no relevance to the UK market.
There you are.
Oh, thank God. Right, moving on. Until recently, if you wanted a very, very fast estate car, well, you had two choices, BMW M5 or Mercedes E63. A difficult decision, and it just got harder, because there is now a third way from Audi. This is what they've come up with. The new RS6. And straight away, there's a problem with it. Take this boot space. At 1,660 litres, it's a lot less than the Mercedes. And the BMW has 7 speeds in its gearbox. This has to make do with the miserable 6. Still, the RS6 does have some feathers in its cap. You see, the Merc and the BMW have around 500 horsepower apiece. This adds more. 572 horsepower. 572. This is an estate car with more power than a Ferrari F430. It's got more power than a Ferrari F50 for crying out loud. What you have here, then, is the most powerful estate car in the world. 0 to 60 takes 4.6 seconds. Top speed is limited to 155 miles an hour. But on the unlimited Autobahn, Audi test pilots have had more than 200 miles an hour out of this thing. Hardly surprising when you see the engine. It's an enormous 5-litre V10, which is boosted by 2 turbochargers. The whole car is awash with evidence it means business. The Gene Hunt wheel arches, the angry grills, the rally car pedals, the very unestate-like Recaro seats, and finally, the ceramic brakes. They cost £6 grand, which is a bit painful. But then the whole car isn't exactly a bargain. It costs £77,000. Almost 10 grand more than the Mercedes or the BMW M5. Now, as Jeremy found out in the last series, those cars are both pretty special to drive. So how does this big missile stack up? Well, that's why we're in the skiing town of Les Arcs in the French Alps, to find out. I'm going to drive from here, which is here, and then drive down the mountain, very winding road, all the way down here, down, then along, and up a little bit at the end to get to La Barre Ferme here at Villaroger. And predictably, there's an improbable race involved against these two. They are Antoine Montin and Francois Bon, 2 top-level skiers who are also capable of seducing up to 7 chalet girls at any one time. I'm not a petty man, but I sort of dislike them already. Anyway, while I'm driving all the way down the mountain, they shall attempt to beat me by taking a more direct and dangerous route. That means taking a ski lift and climbing to the top of the mountain and then sort of skiing straight down here to finish at the bar. With a bit of luck, they'll both crash, and several hundred chalet maids will return to England with their honour preserved. Before the off, we discussed tactics. Their English was poor, but luckily I speak French.
Je suis dans la voiture bleue et grosse. Il y a beaucoup de lapins dans ma pantalon. Mais j'espère que je étais la grande champignon aujourd'hui.
Il va faire où, champignon, lui, non?
Ouais.
Il paraît, c'est
Ok.
ça.
Ok.
Ok.
Bonne chance.
Ouais.
Au revoir.
Right, this is it. Into the car's computer, a lot easier to use than the BMWs. I've got 3 options for the ride settings: Sport, Dynamic, or James May. I think today, Sport.
Okay, chaps, you ready?
Yeah.
Appelez le jambon. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go!
Now, it's 22 miles to Villaroger and Le Bar-Fermé, which is our finishing line. But this race isn't just Top Gear tomfoolery.
This route has a lot of bends, twists, turns and straights, so it should give us the opportunity to see if it's got what it takes. Come on then, big fella, see what you got.
Back up the mountain, the skiers were in the first of 3 lifts it would take to get them to the top.
Master this thing! Concentrate, Hammond, concentrate. One patch of ice and I'll be falling for weeks. One thing I have to remember, hurtling down this hill, this is a heavy car. It's 145 kilograms heavier than the BMW M5 Estate. That's like driving around with Chris Moyles permanently in the boot.
With this much power and this much mass on this sort of road, the 4-wheel drive system is working overtime. But then in the RS6, it does have help.
Nerd moment, it's got very sophisticated suspension. When a car goes into a bend, say a right-hander, it starts to lean to the left. They pump more oil into the shocks on that side to prop it up and stop it doing that. Hairpin! Yes, it can handle it! 6 miles down. Where are they?
They were still climbing in the cable car, killing time by planning that evening's assault on the chalet girls.
There's no combination of words I could put on the back of a postcard. No song that I could sing, but I
Leaning on the brakes again. I think £6 is cheap. I paid a lot more.
The finish line was now 12 miles away. Up on the mountain, the 2 skiers were in their final cable car.
I only need the tiniest window to get past. That might be it. Wow! 10 miles to go. 10 miles. Come on! If they're still going uphill, they've had it.
In fact, they were still climbing, even though they'd now run out of ski lifts. Because these guys had no intention of using normal ski runs.
Listen to that.
With just 5 miles of driving left, the skiers were now at 11,000 feet.
Come on.
And ready to come down the fast way.
.30 kilometres an hour limit. 30. Fair enough, it's a town. Get on with it! Turn left, for God's sake!
The skiers had plummeted 6,000 feet in the time it had taken me to do 2 miles. It was getting close.
To left, I'm going uphill. This is where I have all of the advantages. 572 of them, in fact.
Then, with the village in sight, the skiers hit some global warming. I was moments away, but the skiers weren't beaten yet.
Go, 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 go! Where do we go? Where do we go?
The bar was hidden in a mass of narrow streets.
Oh God, I'm lost. Not now. Please, not now. Edward, Edward! Any channels, this is Hammond, where are you? In the bar, which way? Oh. Well done. Good. Been here long? Now go to a bar and pursue some of our English women.
All right. Which is best, the Audi, the Mercedes, or the BMW?
James, in your world, I'm guessing none. But on planet Earth, if what you really want is a bonkers estate car, it's the most bonkers of them all. You'd have to have the Audi.
Well, you say that, but you just lost that race.
Now, that's only because I got lost at the end. If I'd bothered to find out where the bar is before I set off, I'd have won.
So, thanks to your incompetence, frankly, we have to conclude that if you want a powerful German estate car, buy two small Frenchmen.
Yes.
Right, it's time now to put some stars in our reasonably priced car. My guests tonight play government agents in the hit series Spooks. Not a very realistic programme, if I'm honest, because none of the spies have ever left a laptop on a train, and they've never lost an entire town full of illegal immigrants. Still, I am a huge fan, so I'm delighted, pleased to welcome Rupert Penry-Jones and Peter Fire! So you got dressed up. You were there. Have a seat, gentlemen. So, have we enjoyed ourselves today?
So far, absolutely.
It's been nice to you?
We're both knackered, though. It's very hard. You have to concentrate for so long. We're not used to having to concentrate for so long. Normally it's a few seconds.
A minute and 50 seconds.
Yeah, but we've got attention spans of about 7 seconds, so it's a bit of a stretch.
I'm knackered.
Well, as actors?
Yeah.
It didn't go well in your practices, did it? If we're honest, Rupert?
Well, there were some went well, and then some...
Who'd like to see Rupert trying to practice? Let's just have a look. Here we go. This is, I think, lap number 3. Second to last corner, inevitably. And... oh, dear! Oh! Would you like to see what the car looked like after that?
I had to get out of the passenger
I'm
window.
not bothered where you had to get out of it. You've broken our precious Lassetti.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, isn't it? It's entertaining.
It is entertaining. No,
Of course
well
it
done.
is.
Well crashed. We enjoyed that. Now, listen, can I just talk about Spooks? Do you mind? It really is a fantastic series.
Yeah.
I'm completely hooked. And one of the things I really like about it is that there's no guarantee when you sign up that you're going to be in there for a long time.
It's a great dramatic device to kill heroes. You know, it doesn't happen in television, and
No, it doesn't.
Spooks is the only show that actually does it on a regular basis.
Every time he asks for more money, or
They have to kill
5-day
somebody
weeks, they start giving him scenes where he might die.
Yeah, putting the silence
He
on the
nearly
end
died
of
at
the
the end of
gun.
the second... I nearly died about 6 times in the last series.
And there's always a mole, isn't there? There's always a spy. Why don't you ever notice that? So when's it coming back?
End of September.
End of September, yeah. Because presumably each of the episodes is going to be a lot longer this time. Now you've got 42 days to question everybody. OK, let's talk about cars, if I may. You, first of all. First car.
First car, my parents bought me a Volkswagen Polo, olive green.
Nice.
Which, when my dad gave it to me, it was on my birthday, he gave me the keys at the VW sign, and I thought it was a Beetle and got very excited. You could see the look on my face, getting a Beetle, and said, no, it's not a Beetle, it's a Polo.
Well, you were disappointed that you got a Polo
Well,
instead of
yeah, this was
the Hitlermobile.
It's got character. I like it when you've got no money for a
Horse
car.
manure's got character. You didn't want it. And then you, Peter, your car history. I understand you once emigrated to Australia and left a car in a car park. Not Australia, I mean America.
Oh, no, I didn't emigrate.
Colonials.
Yeah, I parked my car in a car park in St John's Wood for what I thought was a couple of days, and then I went to New York to do a play, and I stayed 2 years. And effectively forgot, really, that I left it in the charge of this car park in St John's Wood, and when I got back, they wanted £5,000 for parking charges, which I didn't have.
Would you know? I suspect a lot of actors
Exactly.
wouldn't have
So they
£5,000.
took the car in lieu of payment.
And what was it?
It was a Mercedes 300 CE Coupe, 1966.
Oh, my God.
Nice car.
Did you not think to perhaps ring someone up in England and say, look, I've left this car, I've decided to stay here for a couple of
No, you don't know. This is the man who runs MI5.
Can I just... You're from Yorkshire, aren't you?
I am.
I've got this thing about actors who aren't from Yorkshire, who get jobs playing Yorkshiremen. It's people like him, right?
I'd never play Yorkshireman.
No, you wouldn't, because they always put a T in. I'm going, pub.
Thank God somebody else has noticed. I thought it was me. No. Emmerdale, Coronation Street.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to Woodit Stairs. It's implied, the T, isn't it?
It is.
Actually.
It's a nod. I'm going, pub. Which is
Going
why
out
you
in
remember the
car.
band, The?
Yeah.
They could never play in Yorkshire, because I'm going to see... Now, got this poll, have you seen this? New Woman's top 100 sexy men. You, 57.
No, but the annoying thing about those polls is you never look at who's behind you. You always look at all the people in front of you. And there are always people. You're just like, I can't believe that person's...
Yes, because in 32nd place, there's some little fridge magnet called Richard Hammond.
You see?
You are
Ridiculous.
one behind Gordon Ramsay.
See, that just ruins the whole thing for you, doesn't it, really?
I'd love to get you and Richard Hammond sharing a flat. I want the mirror. No, me. Oh, actually, no, we can get one for him. Didn't you once try to chat up Jenny Agutter?
How do you know that? I did. Well, we did a film together years and years ago, and then went on the road doing publicity for it. And we had another opening and another party afterwards. I did say to her, having had a few drinks, can you give me one good reason why we don't go back to my hotel room? She said, I can give you several. That was the end of
It's
it.
such a killer there. I can give you several. I want to get some rivalry going now. Who's got the most interesting car now?
I've got an R8 at the moment.
Not bad. And you've got a...
I've got a Maserati, Cambio Corsa.
Yeah.
Can be, that's the flappy paddle.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, well, that's pretty good. So you're actually quite interested in cars, then, quite...
They are, the R8's
And you
great.
both had SLs, didn't you, in the past?
I've still got my SL.
You've still got your
I love
SL?
it, yeah. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. It was sort of the first decent car I bought.
So which one was it? The Bobby Ewing or the
It's
next
the
one?
86.
They were very good.
It's lovely. It costs a lot in bodywork, because if I didn't have a garage until recently...
Well, we've seen your body. Right, so the laps. Who do you think was the fastest?
I don't know, it's close.
I think it's close. I think...
I have to say, was what both of you looked like you were trying. I mean, there was no sort of...
But isn't that the point?
Yes. Because some people don't look like they're trying, but you two do look like... Because we started to see if we'll have 2 people a week, because it does sort of make you...
Yeah.
Shall we see the laps? Yeah. Here we go. One of you is first, and it is... Who's that? We're going to have to go inside. That's you! Peter. Did you like the Lassetti?
Wonderful car.
Isn't it just...
Yeah, who's the daddy? Yes, that's the way. I like it.
Dear Magnus! The breeze of insanity is blowing through your head.
Come on, you have some power in there.
We come into the hammerhead.
Who misses?
That's a man...
Stayed in the lines. I don't
He
think
did.
I-
He did well there.
I've got the air conditioning off because it gives me 2 extra horsepower. It's worth it.
And it's kinder to the environment, and you use less petrol. And we don't care about that. Look at that! It was good, that. You moved the camera, which is always important, second to last corner, off the road a bit. And through Gambon. And there we are, across the line. Now, who wants to see Rupert's lap? Yeah. OK, play the tape. Here we go. Here we go. It's Rupert's underway. Yeah, we can bleep that out. I think you're saying, fancy that. Bother, is what he said there behind the pixels. That was a sudden turn in there. Got a bit... That's quick. That is quick.
Oh, my heart's racing.
That's wide. And then getting tight again. Does it look as fast as it feels?
No, it looks really slow.
That looks really slow.
But it isn't. That's understeer. It does... No, wait, you stay between the lines brilliantly as well.
Come on. This has got nothing.
It has. It's got racing seats and a roll cage. It's a good job we have a spare car here, isn't it? Otherwise, this wouldn't work very well. Second to last corner. This usually catches people out, and it's got you again. Ooh. That's off-roading. That's off-roading, and more off-roading, but there we are. So where do we think we've come? Let's have a look. Let's do Peter first. Where do you reckon, Peter? No, wait, I drove from mind. Rupert.
Me?
You don't know why I've done that.
No.
Rupert, where do you think you've come?
Above James Blunt.
Where's James Blunt? What time is he?
You're looking very low.
Yeah, well, I just... There you go, above James Blunt.
round the middle.
1:48.3. You did it in 1:48.1. So, yes. Above James Blunt. What a good guess. So, You reckon you've beaten it?
I think I might have edged it.
Got the time here.
My two boys said, as long as you come in the top half, then it won't be embarrassing at school.
You did it in 1:40. His little face. 7.1. Yes, you did. Give him a round of applause. He is down. That's a grimace. That is a grimace. Well done. That's an impressive time. You've beaten the well-spoken man. But wait. You're the fastest Welshman.
Oh, great.
You're the fastest one, and you are easily the fastest person from Yorkshire. So there we are. It's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for coming. Very best of luck with the new series of Spooks. Best of luck with everything else you're up to. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, the chaps from Spooks. Thank you.
Now, last week we saw our new bloke, Top Gear stuntman, attempt to jump an Austin Allegro in reverse over 72 scrap cars. He failed miserably, but he is still alive. So, who remembers this? That is the car stunt from the Bond film The Man with the Golden Gun. It's the one where the car leaps over the river, but at the same time does a full 360-degree roll in the air. And the Americans say that this is the hardest car stunt in the world, which is why it hasn't been repeated since.
We find ourselves once again at Bentwaters in Suffolk, the place Top Gear comes when we don't want to gouge holes in our own track. It is also where Top Gear's stuntman lives, in a house paid for with his film work.
Here is the jump he's going to do. The car comes along here, hits the ramp, and takes off in the accepted fashion. But it is also going to start rotating so that it performs a full 360-degree roll in mid-air before landing on this ramp back on its wheels. And this is very complicated for two reasons. Firstly, it requires balls of solid steel. And secondly, it requires something that we don't normally feature on Top Gear, which is very accurate calculations. Everything, the weight of the car, the speed of the car, the angle of the ramp, it all comes together in a gigantic ball of arithmetic.
Sadly, we don't have a Ferrari Enzo for this, but we do have an MG Maestro, and it is red.
Unfortunately, using the Maestro makes an already tricky stunt even more difficult, because you see, while the car in the Bond film was rear-wheel drive, this thoroughbred is front-wheel drive. And that means that all the maths done for 007 is now useless.
So, while the basic ramp structures were being prepared, and Top Gear stuntman psyched himself up, I set about redoing the calculations.
Now, they didn't show you this in The Man with the Golden Gun, but this is the really, really interesting bit. Here, for example, the position of the car in terms of its horizontal displacement, x, will be equal to v, the takeoff velocity. And so obviously we must include wx, the roll, and of course wy, the pitch, all to take account of the car's rotational inertia. Anyway, that's excellent. I think we've got it.
The slopes on the ramps were fine-tuned according to my calculations, and Top Gear's stuntman fired up the car.
Take it away, Maestro.
This one really is a biggie. He's broken out the helmet with the visor. Now, the gap between the ramps is precisely 72 feet, and Top Gear's stuntman needs to be doing exactly 51 miles per hour when he leaves the grounds.
This is looking good.
That didn't work. But just to be sure, let's see it again from several angles. Nope, definitely didn't work.
You are right. There's no way we can dress that up as a success.
Well, no, but Stuntman, he is fulfilling our own mantra, isn't he? He is ambitious.
Ambitious, but... rubbish, exactly.
Now, you know how Fifth Gear burned down our cool wall? Well, we've got a new one! Here it is, the cool wall is back! Yeah! We have a cool wall! That feels better! It just feels better!
It's back and in all these real thing because it's all wrong. Now,
What to do? The Citroen C5.
Citroen C5,
It's
very
a
good looking.
Beautiful car, actually.
Beautiful looking car.
I've made my mind up on this one.
So have I. It's large and French,
Yes.
and therefore it's uncool.
You're wrong, it's cool.
No, it's large and French, OK? Certain nationalities do certain things. The French cook. How many people have ever said, I fancy going out tonight, darling, do you fancy eating German?
No, grant you that. Grant you that.
How many people have ever said, I want some flat-pack furniture? So what I'm going to do is go and see Mr. Fopolopoulos in Athens.
No, you've got this
A
wrong.
large French car is like a Tunisian-fitted kitchen. It doesn't work. Yes, in my mind.
No, you're wrong. You're actually wrong for that exact reason. Everybody thinks when they want a large car, buy German. To buy French, when it's a very handsome car as well, that's a more clever decision.
Oh, go
It's
on
a
then.
What?
Go on, can't be bothered to argue.
Is
You
this-
can put it in cool.
Is this a
Yes,
trap?
can we put it in cool?
Don't say that! He's never given in before!
What's this? Do it.
There's no chainsaw coming out the wall?
No.
OK.
Now, we have a momentous cool wall moment. BMW M3, here it is. Been in uncool for a long time, as we know. This is Cock Central, the only car we've ever had that broke the Top Gear cockometer. Thing is, OK, the cocks who had these have become fed up with being labelled a cock even before they've opened their mouths, OK? So they've moved on, leaving the people who were prepared to weather the storm of hate behind. So, in other words, the only people driving M3s now are the people who appreciate just what a damn good car it is. This is therefore now
Annoyingly, I think you're right. You are right.
BMW
Yeah.
are making
That
a
is-
cool car. Here's the big question for you all. If the cocks have moved out of the M3, where do you think they've ended up? Oh, God. Come on, Hedgehog Man.
Audi.
He's there.
Yes, he is.
Hedgehog Man has got it right. Well done, Hedgehog Man. All Audis, where are they all? They're sort of all hovering around up here. Specifically, they've ended up in that one, the RS4s. You get some idiot now, an 18th of an inch off your back bumper, I guarantee he's in an Audi. These are now seriously uncool cocks cars. Anyone got an Audi? Cock, cock, cock. And they've all got those Breitling watches. Have you seen them with the button? Has this got the button that if I push it, the helicopter comes?
It is, it's out there now.
This is really the watch, and you don't have an Audi.
I used to have an Audi.
This is Chief Cock with his Centre Play 10.
Yes.
What have you got now?
Land Rover.
Like what? Just a... What do you mean, yeah?
James owns one of those.
James May owns one of these. What's he doing up?
They're the rules. You've taken it to the limit, but they are the rules.
You can't get much less cool than that.
You know, we just got the cool wall back. I'd like to do some changes as well. I've got quite an important one I want to do, which is, bear with me on this, all Aston Martins, all of them, are now rendered uncool. They've all moved down the board. I know. Bear with me, because I've given this some...
No, I'm in a suffering from shock. What do you mean they're uncool?
For instance, there is a sort of natural cosmopolitan cockometer in the world called the King's Road in London. And it used to be jam full of 911s, all of them, every car. Now, every single one is a cock in an Aston Martin. Every single one. It's all you see is Aston Martins. You do.
Rubbish.
No, I know it's a big leap. It's a big leap.
Have you got any evidence that they are cocks?
I've got a lot of evidence.
Where is it?
That's right, hang on a second. For instance, all of these people, Frank Lampard, Paolo Maldini, Thierry Henry, Beckham, Wayne Rooney, Ian Wright, Sean Wright-Phillips, they have all got Aston Martins.
All the coolest footballers in the country.
The coolest what?
Footballers.
Well, it's a footballer's car.
It is not, apart from Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney's got
Yes.
one.
No, that is a letdown.
He crashed it.
Yes, he did.
It was crashed by a plank who looks like Shrek.
Yes.
It's awful. They're all terrible.
I still maintain you're completely wrong. And you're not in the DB9.
I'll tell you what.
You touched
no,
the
I am.
DB9.
No, it's time.
You're going
It's time
in a
for a
trap
change.
door full of
It's
shot.
not- It's locked. Come. It's gone. It's down here. All right.
Well,
Are you none of you
are
believing
so
now?
not
One day you will come round and realise. Oh, thanks. Yeah, all right. That's always a solution.
Right, fridge magnet. BMW X6.
Ah, yes.
What?
Oh.
Wrong.
No, it's-
More...
No, that is actually a...
It is your microphone. And now you can't argue. This is a truly shocking car. They said, no, it's a four-wheel drive car. No, let's make it look like a coupe. Let's say I want a Wellington that looks like a ballet shoe. It's really uncool, and that's an end of it. Hey, now listen. When was the last time you just got up and went for a drive? Not to anywhere, not for anything, just for a drive.
See, motorcyclists do it all the time, so why don't human beings? I mean, obviously the price of petrol has something to do with it, but I think it's more than that. Could it be that cars just aren't exciting enough these days? This, however, might just be enough to get you out of bed before the dawn.
It's a special version of the AMG CLK. It's more powerful. It's more pumped up. They call it the Black.
Indeed, Harry. Good morning. This is the shipping forecast station.
This is brilliant. No phone, no kids, no interruptions. It's just me in my little metal shell. Time to think, time to work stuff out. Small wonder crabs are so wise.
And this really is an ideal car for when it's 4 in the morning and you've got the whole 400,000-mile British road network all to yourself.
What they've done to create this £100,000 monster is remove the rear seats, the electric motors for the front seats, the electric motor for the steering column, the sat-nav, some of the airbags. They've fitted carbon fibre door panels and carbon fibre spoilers. And the result of all this weight saving is that it weighs just a little bit more than when they started.
That's because underneath it has a wider industrial strength rear axle. It has a differential made from a blend of lead and granite. It's a weapons grade car, this, and it needs to be, to contain the fury of what's under the bonnet.
There's so much fury, in fact, that if you were to unleash it all, pretty soon, you'd be very far from home.
They're used to monsters and dragons in this part of Wales. But I bet they've never heard one that sounds like this.
This thing really is the king of cane. The standard 6.2-litre engine that Mercedes uses in its AMG models is already bonkers enough. If it had a tongue, it would go around licking windows. But in this, they fiddled with the electronics and the exhaust, and the result is a dollop of full-bore savagery.
In fact, this car is so fast and so mad, it was even delivered with a warning letter from the people who made it.
I've been road testing cars nearly 25 years now, and that has never happened before. But I've got it here, and it says, ensure the oil is warm before driving enthusiastically. Well, it will be now. The car is savage. It's very aggressive and racy in its setup. This is Mercedes themselves. On anything other than dry roads, it is extremely lively. Quite tail-happy, even under partial throttle. The traction control must stay on. Sounds dangerous.
It isn't dangerous, though. It's just incredibly good fun.
I thought it was going to be like a BMW M3, but it's in a completely different league.
It's just so much more noisy and powerful and exciting. It even slows down more violently, thanks to its carbon brakes.
I only had 3 hours sleep last night, but I have never felt more awake than this. It's like a Saturn V rocket. Whoa!
I've often wondered why they call these the Black Mountains. Because they're not black, they're sort of green and brown. Now I know, though, they were named for this car.
Hurry up, sunshine. Here we go. Christ, it's fast. Don't get me wrong, though. That is not a a racing car with number plates. It's not super stiff, super taut, set up for the track. Because if it was, I'd be sitting here now with blood pouring out of my ears and a smashed skeleton thinking, oh, why did I go for a drive? Why didn't I just get up and play table tennis?
Even though it has a racing car's flared wheel arches, and even though some of the luxuries are gone, it still has an automatic gearbox. It's still got cruise control and air conditioning. It's still totally civilized. Which means you can sit back and indulge yourself in what this show's all about. The absolute joy of driving a great car on a great road. What the black does then is blend genuine red-eyed supercar madness with drip-dry everyday practicality.
I'm completely in love with it. The only thing that's stopping me from ploughing on is that.
I've run out of British Isles.
Job they didn't tell Tony and Louise in Britain. It'd only have been 4 minutes long. Oh, we got in the Cheddar Gorge.
That's all I could find. So, is it really that good?
Yes, Simon Bates. This is my new favourite car. And I'm not alone either.
Don't look at me.
I wasn't actually. I wasn't thinking of you. No, the Stig drove this last week. Said it's the most entertaining car he's driven in years. But that really is enough for cars now. Next week, normal accident-prone service is resumed. We spend the entire programme pretty much falling over.
Breaking down.
Crashing.
Yes.
So we'll see you then. Thanks very much for watching. Take care.
Coming next, Jeremy Clarkson's back, telling an incredible story of courage and ambitious operation in the Second World War, known as the original Mission Impossible. The Greatest Raid of All is next on BBC Two and on BBC Three, and an unexpected visit from Destiny in tonight's brand new Greek.